James, you saw first-hand outside the stadium on Sunday the emotion from the supporters. You dealt with it very well at the time. I just wonder what those situations are like as a player when you see how raw the feelings can get after a difficult result.
No, it's understandable. If the result isn't good enough and the performance isn't good enough, you're obviously going to hear the fans and what they obviously think about. And I'm the captain and there to listen, have their understanding. But we've got to obviously do our side of the job to keep obviously them happy and keep performances good.
The manager has just been speaking and says he believes the situation can change in football very quickly. You can turn things around. Do you as players believe that?
Yeah, of course. It's the nature of this sport. Football can change very quickly. Results can change quickly, performances can change quickly, and it's down to us as a team to get back on the right path and get back to winning ways.
The manager is a very amiable guy, he always comes across as very pleasant. Have you as players seen the nasty side of him at all at times through some of these poorer results?
Yeah, and even results where performances, even if we've got the win or draw, he lets us know what needs to be done and needs to be better. We all have that nasty streak in us. We never want to lose, never want to play bad. So even after games, lads want to say stuff. It's just the nature of the game. You never want to lose, and so we've just got to get back to what we know best, and that's working really hard and really putting in performances that we know we're capable of.
I think a lot of fans after Sunday, the ones who were after the game as well, were talking about signs of belief in the squad, on the field and coming off the field. What reassurances can you give those supporters that there is that hunger and desire within the dressing room to turn this around?
Well, if you look at the game, especially even the first half, obviously they had one shot, but in the game itself, we hit the crossbar a couple of times with majority of the possession. It's just the finer details of just being clinical in front of goal. And in some games you can score 6 or 7. In games you can score 1. These are the finer details in games. It's definitely not a crisis. A full belief in the team and what we know, what we can do, and that's what we have to obviously apply that on the pitch. It's all well and good saying it, but we have to put that into our performances.
Is there a message specifically to the Rangers fans? Because I think as a captain you would agree that the anger's they're getting angry. I think they're not less and less fans are sort of believing that this is able to be turned around with what we're seeing.
If you look at the stage of the season, obviously it's still, there's still a lot of more games to go. It'd be criminal for us as a team to think it's all over at this stage of the season. We know there's plenty more games to go, and we're only going to get better. We're going to get injuries back into the team, especially after the break. And we know we've got the performances in us, and it's about us delivering that on the pitch. So there's nothing to be worried about, but it is down to us as a team to really nail it down and find the details in games where we need to finish teams off.
As a captain and as a squad, how does it make you feel when you see Giovanni being put under this pressure, seeing what's being written, spoken about in terms of his future? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's never nice to see. If it's your manager or a teammate, it's never nice to see. You always get behind him and you try and do the best for anybody who's involved in this squad and in this team, and obviously the manager. But he gives us the tactics. He puts the 11 people on the pitch, so it's down to the people on the pitch to to give him the performance. And we fell short of that in some games, and we have to work harder.
James, you said there that there's nothing to be worried about, but would you accept as well that there's no wriggle room left and maybe no margins for error, given the way Celtic are playing? There's a 7-point gap. I know we're only a third of the way through the season, as you allude to, but is that a worry in any sense?
No, it's like you said, we're only a third into the season, plenty more games to go, so we just got to fully focus on ourselves and ultimately we always aim to win every single game, so that will be our full focus until the end of the season.
It's not that long, and I was saying the same to the manager, since you're actually playing pretty well, you've beaten PSV, things look pretty good. Can you just give me a sense of where you as captain think things have gone wrong? I know you obviously had a very difficult Champions League group, but even some of the domestic performances, obviously the defeats to Celtic and St Johnstone, have you get a sense of where things have just dipped for you recently?
If you look at some of the performances, even after we've had heavy defeats in the Champions League, the Hearts performance, I thought we were really well. The Aberdeen performance recently, I thought we did really well. Obviously the St Johnstone performance, if you're more clinical in the game, then the scoreline's definitely different. We conceded 2 sloppy goals, and if we're more clinical, and like I said, it's the finer details in these games that we've got to take advantage of. We're always going to create chances, but everyone's got to try and chip in and score goals, and we'll be in the place that we want to be.
And is there a sense as well, I know you're going to do it for professional pride because you're the captain and for the club, is there a sense that you want to do it for the manager as well? Because when clubs do make changes, it does tend to be the manager.
Well, obviously you want to, first and foremost you want to do it for the club that you're playing for, the manager that you're playing for, the teammates that are around you every single day, the staff that work around the building, behind the scenes, everybody who's involved. You want to do it for everybody, and that's a no-brainer, that one. You never go out and think that you don't want to. That's not our mentality, and definitely not mine. But it's down to us to really, really put in the performances that we need, and that's winning games.
Playing as captain for so many years, the focus always seems to come on you after games, whether it's you do the post-match interview where you come and clap the fans. After so many years, does it begin to weigh down on you that?
No. I always have big shoulders, and take pride in what I do. It's never something that's had an effect on us. I'll always take it in my stride, learn from every experience in every walk of life, and this is another moment in my life and another moment in my captain's career that, just to take it in, work hard at it and get to the better side of it.
Because this team currently has a lot of senior players who have been here the last few years who are out injured at the moment, so there's some players experiencing this pressure for the first time. What can you actually do to help them? Is there anything you can do to get them through this week? Yeah, of course.
It's as a footballer, you want to play games as quickly as possible. The good thing, obviously, coming after the St Johnstone game, we've got a game 2 days after, which is Hearts tomorrow. So we've got a game tomorrow at home to put things right. And I know all the boys in the change room are ready to go for this game, and they'll leave everything out on that pitch, and it's nothing. Obviously I speak to the lads, and injured lads speak to the lads. It's just about maturing, especially playing for Rangers, because you will get criticised, but it's about taking your stride and playing with belief, and working really hard.
Had a lot of highs as Rangers captain, but with that there's been some lows as well. Can you draw on those past experiences to try and get the team turn it around?
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of things that have happened at Rangers, and yeah, I can just use my experience, speak to the boys, using my experience and help the best way I can.
Those experiences give you the belief that things can turn around and turn around quickly?
Yeah. Like I said, we didn't want to obviously lose the game, but it's the third into the season, and we have full belief as a squad that the performances are there, and we just need to be more clinical what we do, and obviously shut the back at the other end and not let sloppy goals go in. And our footballing sense, general play is good, so we just need to be more clinical in both ends.
Can nights like tomorrow at Ibrox be tough when the crowd aren't with you?
Well, it's down to us to get the fans behind us. It's always been the case. If that's in Europe or in a league game, they expect us to run hard, play well, and that's just a minimum. That's the minimum that we want to do. So we've got to make sure we do that from the first minute. As soon as that ball's kicked, that we're applying ourselves, and then the fans will be right behind us.
James, I just wanted to come on to that point when you said you might need to bring the fans with you because the mood's quite low just now, being 7 points behind. When you won the league 2 years ago, you built up a gap at the top so early it almost took the pressure off. There's still that question there, can Rangers go and win a league where every single game is win or bust? Do you feel like you've still got to prove that to fans even though you've won a league, won a Scottish Cup?
I think playing for this club, you always have to aim to be picking up trophies by the end of the season, no matter what season it is. That's what we're all here for. We want to be competing in all the trophies, and obviously the aim is to try and win all the trophies. But it's the third into the season, and we only can concentrate on ourselves and our performances, and we've got the belief that we apply ourselves right, the performances and the results will come in.
Good afternoon, James. There's been some criticism levelled at the team in terms of deliveries and set pieces into the box, particularly after Sunday. Is that something that is not translating from the training ground to the actual games, or do you feel like it needs more time devoted to set pieces on the training pitch?
I'm not entirely sure because if you've seen the first half, I think we won quite a lot of set pieces, the first headers. And obviously my goal was from a set piece. I know it's the second phase, but but I think we always continue to work hard at set pieces, but
Good afternoon, James. There's been a high level of criticism from the supporters that say that there's no style, there's no tactics, there's no desire in the squad, say that the football's boring, and it has been for a length of time. How do you respond to that, and do you need to take more responsibility as players on the pitch off the manager going forward?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's obviously a result business. You're there to win games. Our style of play is keeping possession. I think if you see the best teams in the world, it's the more possession-based teams. We're not a team that just sits in and tries to break on the counter. So obviously everyone has their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But we're obviously there to play the game the best we can. Fast-flowing football and trying to win games. You just have to be more clinical.